If you clicked on this video, you have been duped. Just kidding. Solo leveling is overhyped. But before you all go,
Motherfucker, what do you know, huh? Solo leveling is best. The greatest.
just hear me out, alright? And if you have time to do that, why don't you just...
This video is only for entertainment purpose.
Solo Leveling is a power fantasy anime which is actually not Japanese. Well, it's an anime cause it's made in Japan, but the actual story is from here. Little lower please. Yup, here. They call it manhwa, and I know that because I have read this piece of art. You haven't? Lol. This story revolves around Jinwoo, and it's so unique that our MC doesn't start off as weak. No one is making fun of him for being weak. He doesn't have a girl who cares for him for no reason. He didn't go to a dungeon despite knowing he will die. He was not betrayed by anyone. He was not amputated by anyone. There isn't a good looking girl who he will like for no reason, ignoring the one he shouldn't. There is no floating panel which will make him the most strongest and edgiest character, and killing goblins is not the fastest way to become strong. And he will most definitely not become a completely different looking person. Now, hear this. In this world, random portal full of deadly monsters started spawning out of nowhere. Along with it, some humans were given special powers. Just like I explained in my previous video, to keep the balance of power in world. What? You haven't watched it yet? Make sure you watch it after this one. People who received these powers were called hunters. Now you should ask, why not adventurers? Well, I mean adventurers are really just so boring. All they do is go in a dungeon and kill some monsters. On the other hand, hunters, they do the same as well. Just sounds a bit cooler. They are ranked from S all the way to E based on their power levels. Jin is given the title of World Weakest Hunter. Yeah, he looks like a guy who fapped his soul out. What is interesting is that the power and rank you are given will remain same for the rest of your life, and it took him only 3 episodes to ruin that. Now the problem starts with Synopsis itself. It's just so amazing and unique. Literally every other isekai and power fantasy anime is same. Let's just forget about manhwa and the hype surrounding this for a moment and get in the zone of a veteran weeb. You are here with me, right? Now let's imagine you are scrolling through the massive list of anime that are dropping every season, trying to find which one you should watch. Then you stumble upon this. You ignore the title. I will tell you why in a second. You start reading the synopsis and your first reaction will be, what the hell is this cliche piece of shit garbage? Which is literally similar to every other edgy anime which 13-year-old kids like to watch. Fuck, I have to watch this. Now let's look at the title, and I have to accept that it's really cool. If this show had a title like, that time I went to a dungeon with my side chick and party and got completely destroyed and chopped up into pieces, then I became a player and acquired system and became the strongest. Now I will show everyone how fucking cool I am. None of us will give this our time of day, so 10 on 10 for the title. And let me tell you this, in 2020 when this was probably not that famous, I started reading first chapter and you can bet on my pubes like beard which I just started growing. I ended up completing the entire boarding diary in 2 days with 5 packs of used tissues. This is a fucking masterpiece. Jokes aside, I haven't read manhwa and I won't, cause I don't like those long images which doesn't even fit on my 6-year-old phone screen. Now let's talk about the anime. First episode starts with grown men fighting ants, literally. And this idiot's constant yapping, like how he keeps putting babies in his wife and raising one death flag after another. Then they form a party to go adventure in a dungeon, hunting. Then after an intense struggle against a goblin, which Jinwoo finally manages to win somehow, this is what she has to say about it.
Just quit already.
As the party moves further, they stumble upon this place, which literally has boss music playing. Then they reach the conclusion that they will be entering by the rule of majority vote. I freaking hate democracy. I mean, just look at him. Do you think this guy is capable of making a wise decision? As they enter this place, which looks like it came straight out of Skyrim, this statue, which looked really good so far, starts slaughtering everyone. As this scene goes on, it reminds me of that one arc from Overlord where a bunch of thieves enter his house and Bone Daddy literally bones them. I mean, you fuck around, you find out. There is still this one scene. Can someone tell me what was the purpose of it? Let me explain what happens next in just 10 seconds. After that, he's just playing with the panel he starts seeing out of nowhere. What was really shocking to me is how easily he became familiar with all this. His life suddenly turns into an RPG game and he's like, whatever. I'll be honest with you. So far, there is nothing original and unique about Solo Leveling. It feels like they just picked up a bunch of trash anime, hammered them, punched them and grinded them together into one single thing. But is that bad? I don't think so. Being generic is fine as long as you're being original about what your story is and what is that you are trying to show to the audience. What I'm trying to say is something new which will set Solo Leveling apart from those hundreds of anime with a similar premise, and that is something that I have yet to see. But there is something I really hate, and that is seeing these panels in anime. It ruins the fantasy vibe for me. But there is one thing I really like about this is hot anime girls. Let us all ask each other one simple question. What makes a good story? And I think it's how unpredictable a story is. A story which can constantly keep me on the edge of my seat, wondering what's going to happen next. As for Solo Leveling, I can already imagine what will happen next for the most part. I don't want to be one of those creators who starts writing every popular anime despite how bad it is. This is just my genuine opinion about Solo Leveling so far. And I'm not saying Solo Leveling is bad despite how generic the plot may seem so far. Build up is okay and it would be interesting to see where it will lead to. And let me say this, animation team is doing a really good job with the composition of Solo Leveling. Not just the digital effects and lightning, but also the blend of 2D and 3D is seamless. The animation looks really good so far. And I know it's too early for me to get cancelled, so I should just shut up for now. And I'm not such a tight ass that I will drop it or anything. I will keep watching Solo Leveling and I want to see will it be able to change my mind about it or not. And if you want to know about that as well, make sure to subscribe and show some support. And as always, this is Brisk. See you next time. This shit is fucking good.